This is the conclusion of the Twin Towers portion of my rebuttal of the 9/11 video, Blueprint for Truth by Richard Gage. I now have 11 short videos rebutting his claims of controlled demolition for the Twin Towers. I have listed 168 reasons why natural collapse explains the destruction of the towers better than controlled demolition. I will have many more reasons as we move on to explore the collapse of Building 7. So let's pause for a moment, as I offer you something even better than an eyewitness report, a direct confession from the man responsible for these attacks. Osama bin Laden said on video he was behind the 9/11 attacks. I hear about a fake, fat bin Laden video, but all we ever see is this photo and the videos that I've seen from 9/11 people. Here is the actual bin Laden video, and this skinny-faced, heavily robed guy with a long beard, who is a dead ringer for bin Laden, is boasting about what he did. Terrorists attacked the World Trade Center in 1993 and finished the job in 2001. And there is no physical evidence of the materials that would be used to set off explosives in the building. In this era of WikiLeaks and blogs, not one whistleblower has leaked any smoking gun insider information, and the scientific evidence strongly points to the almost universally accepted theory of natural collapse. If you have watched Blueprint for Truth and all 11 of my rebuttal videos so far, something one of us said may have challenged your beliefs. Now you have a choice. If you believe Richard, his website will reassure you that your beliefs are correct, and they will have answers for everything I've said. If you came in agreeing with me, you can take my sources home or go to the debunkers' sites and be reassured that I'm right. Use this debate to strengthen your pre-existing beliefs, and you will be a statistic confirming the 1979 attitude polarization study. So I challenge you to do independent research and find original source information not associated with either side. I try to hold my opinion lightly because I could be wrong, and so can you. I've tried to offer a rational explanation for natural collapse, but we're all affected by psychological forces that deeply affect which information we let in and which information we reject. Richard and I had dinner together after our March 6th debate in 2011, and I asked him sincerely, earnestly, how is it that two completely sincere and well-meaning people like us find the facts so completely different? Unfortunately, our conversation was interrupted, but it's still a mystery to me. How we respond to the archetypal tragedy that is 9/11 is almost a Rorschach test. It may tell us more about ourselves than it does about what really happened that day, and it really doesn't matter how much scientific training we have. There are people who believe both sides who know an awful lot more than you and I do about this. Most people reject the idea of 9/11 controlled demolition out of hand. They say our government couldn't possibly do such a thing. I know that's not true, because every society has its collective shadow side, and its members generally don't want to look at it. Just ask the Germans. I used to see that dark shadow side of our government during the Vietnam War, and in the 80s when we were supporting dictatorial regimes in Central America. But one day, when I was pursuing a conspiracy theory that I believed in, and I went straight to its source and found it to be untrue, I came to the wrenching realization that the evil that I saw in our government was also in me. Losing my belief system made me feel lost. It was deeply threatening to have to let go of that worldview. It was not the first time I had to stare at my shadow, and it is not going to be the last. Goethe once said that the most heinous imaginable crimes humanity has ever committed are in him. I have composed an opera called From the Realm of the Shadow, which explores the shadow side of our psyche. As Carl Jung said, to confront a person with his own shadow is to show him his own light. And I pray that we can all have the humility to stop, to take a breath, and to ask, are we really being truthful at the level of heart? Can we look again, reconsider our entrenched positions? Can we confront our own mean-spiritedness, embrace something greater than our own certainties? I also want to say that while I disagree completely with Richard Gage and his controlled demolition theory, I support 100% his right to explore this and express his views. Every good journalist does. The words eternal vigilance is the price of liberty expresses a core value of our country that recognizes that we do have to look at our collective shadow sometimes. If someday he proves me wrong, I'll be grateful. And I am grateful that we live in a country where this kind of exploration is allowed. And finally, I hope and I pray that whatever we believe, we respect those that we disagree with. May our hearts find peace so we can share it with a world that is so sorely in need of it. Well, soon we're going to be visiting the claims around the freefall collapse of Building 7, or perhaps faster than freefall. and how that can be possible. More eyewitness reports are coming, and questions about foreknowledge of the destruction, and more. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me.